Hey everybody, it's Greg from Park Journey. So over the weekend, we actually had a very busy weekend actually. On Friday, I was out at Universal in the morning, Knott's in the afternoon for Mary Farm. Then we were at Legoland for their tree lighting ceremony, and then back at Mary Farm on Friday night to take in some of the nighttime stuff. And then Saturday, we were at Six Flags Magic Mountain for Holiday in the Park. And then last night we went and actually saw Hamilton finally at the Pantages. Highly recommended. It's worth the hype. Go see it. But we won't be doing an update on Hamilton, but we'll have an update for all that other stuff. So we're actually going to start off with Magic Mountain, the Holiday in the Park, but also we have a regular park update. And since, that's the park where everything's changing, most quickly, I wanted to make sure that I got this up today because by tomorrow there's going to probably be more stuff going on at the park in relation to Wonder Woman being built at the park. So we're going to go ahead and get right into it. In this video, we're going to have, again, a construction update for Wonder Woman and then some Holiday in the Park stuff. I'll share some of my thoughts on some of the food and the lights and all that fun stuff. Before I get into it, make sure you click below to subscribe to our channel. We greatly appreciate it. So walking into Magic Mountain, here we have the entrance to the former DC Universe. First thing I noticed, the arch is now gone. And that arch dates back to Gotham City Backlot in 1994. So it's been there for quite a while. But you can see here, it really does kind of open up that area. You can see all the way back to the Batman loop. I didn't ever really think it fit in with DC Universe, to be honest with you. So I'm kind of glad to see that it's, on its way out. Not sure what, if anything, they're going to do here to replace it. I don't really think it needs it. Obviously, Wonder Woman is going to be rethemed to something else. You don't need two Wonder Woman rides. But you can see the entire DC Universe is now blocked off, which includes Wonder Woman, which includes the Flash and Batman. Oddly enough, they repainted Batman earlier this year. You would have thought, they would have closed off the area, repainted it when they closed off the area. But, it's fine. Here we have more walls around where Tidal Wave used to be and the where Wonder Woman is going to be. Not sure if these walls are going to stay. I would imagine they're going to open this up once Wonder Woman does open it. You'll hopefully get some good views. And you can still see the entrance sign over or where the entrance sign for Tidal Wave was. Maybe this will be something at some point, but not anytime soon, I would imagine. But as I mentioned in a couple of videos previously, this would be a good spot for a future flat ride. There's plenty of room here. There will be plenty of room here once they build Wonder Woman in the area. Maybe a DC Universe sign like the Metropolis one they have here would be fitting for the new entrance to that area. But again, we'll see what happens. Moving over to Metropolis, you can see here the globes for Holiday in the Park. We'll get back to that a little bit later in this video. Riddler's Revenge is still open. I don't know if it'll close at any point as far as needing to get the crane in and stuff for Wonder Woman, but we'll definitely see. I wouldn't imagine that they would need to close it, but who knows? So taking a peek in through the fence, I'll point it out a little bit later in this video, but there's a lot of fence that has been torn off, or a lot of, not fence, but the coverings for the fence that have been torn off. And again, for the record, we did not do this, but we'll use the openings. But here you can see again, footers for Wonder Woman. X marks the spot for something. Not sure exactly what that is, but we'll find out at some point. But you can see here lots of ground clearing still being done. The footers are all poured. Obviously, it takes a while for them to cure, and they need to be set before you can start putting in the supports. Moving down the road, some of the trees have remained. Some of the palm trees, again, as I mentioned in our last video, it does pretty much fit in with the theme for Wonder Woman. So glad to see some of these trees remaining. Little Riddler shadow in the background there. And then just moving down the line a little bit here, again, you can see some more supports, some of the larger square ones. You know, you've got large round ones and medium round ones and smaller round ones. So obviously, depending on what portion of the track it is, will depend on what kind of support or what kind of footer it needs. And some more planters that have remained as well. Obviously, at some point, this whole area will be fenced off. It will probably be a themed fence. Probably similar to what you see here with the black, maybe a little taller than that, just because there will be an active coaster back there. You can't just have a small fence like that. Trying to zoom in here on some of the footers behind there, moving back towards the DC Universe side. So as you can see, a lot of footers for this particular coaster. So it kind of goes back and forth between the two areas quite a lot. So as I mentioned, you can see just how much of the fence covering has been torn off. You know, not sure if people are doing it or wind. So if you are doing it, don't. You know, the park put it there for a reason. So hopefully, you know, I'm sure at some point they're going to replace all of this because, you know, I'm sure they don't like it looking like that. So just keep that in mind when you're at the park. You know, you want to get pictures and stuff. That's great, but, you know, don't tear and ruin park stuff while you're doing it. So here's a look at the Holiday in the Park merchandise. Definitely not as much stuff as they had for Holiday in the Park. I still don't get the Poop Hat things. You got, you know, Poop Hat snowmen and Poop Hat Santa, and I don't get it. But anyway, and moving over to Tatsu, as you may or may not know, it is getting a brand new paint job. I think it looks great. As I've mentioned a few times, I'm not a huge fan of this attraction, but I do think the paint job looks great. In some other pictures that I had seen, it looked more green and red. It is definitely not. It is green and a dark orange, which definitely, you know, fits a dragon type thing. But I think it looks absolutely great. It's obviously long overdue. You know, it would have been nice if they could have done this during the shutdown and kept the ride open for those that do enjoy it. But again, it is a long overdue thing. So you can see here they are kind of starting working on, you know, what is probably the easiest part of this ride to repaint at this time up at the top of the hill. But they're, you know, obviously doing a full repaint. Even the transfer track there you can see is getting repainted. All of the metal there. But I think it looks really nice. Maybe it was just the time of the day. It's probably about, you know, 3:30 or so. So the sun was kind of going down a little bit. But you can see here they have not started on this area, but there are some green markers all over the place on the catwalk and underneath the station there, or underneath the track there, as when we walk under you'll see. So obviously that is all going to be green. Hopefully they'll get rid of all those stupid stickers that people would like to put up there and graffiti, and, you know, have some respect, people, come on. But you can see here all the stuff, all the marks getting painted. There's green, green, green. So I think it'll look really nice once it's all done for Tatsu there. Obviously this part, maybe some pressure wash on these supports here is definitely going to be needed before they paint. Obviously moving down to this area is going to be much harder to repaint. They're going to need quite a large crane to do it. I would imagine it will be the same crane that they use for repainting that they use for Wonder Woman. Probably get it all done at the same time. Since they had to get a, you know, rent a large crane for that, it probably just made sense to go ahead and do that at the same time as well. So obviously some challenging repaints going on here in the near future. Obviously the pretzel loop will be a challenge. Wouldn't be surprised to see Revolution shut down at least for a few days while they're repainting some of the taller parts of Tatsu, just because you know, it's going to be in the way, right? You don't want to have any kind of issues. Some more Holiday in the Park merchandise up in the Emporium. Again, not as much as Fright Fest, but they did have some cool looking things. The sweaters were really nice, some mugs. And then, of course, we move over to Holiday in the Park. This was the Brie and Pear grilled cheese at the Plaza Cafe. Very tasty, as well as the banana pudding. We liked both of them very much. The food that we tried on Saturday was actually really good. Most was great. Obviously, some Holiday in the Park characters throughout the park. Some princess types over near Katie's Kettle. And then the Six Flags bus was back. I had mentioned probably 2 years ago when West Coast Racers opened that they had a bus parking spot and the bus was backstage, and maybe they should put the bus there. I don't think I had anything to do with this, but glad to see the bus is actually there. Some really great spots here for the underground. This was Miss Diana Frost and Elvis, which is great. They did a whole 50s theme here in the backside of the park with 50s holiday music. I got to be honest, I wish they would keep this 50s theme going in the underground permanently. I think it just really works and it really pops, and I would really like it to remain. This was a cool idea. The jukebox had a playlist of all of the holiday songs they're playing. So if you'd like to put up together a playlist, you can do that, which is great. Some decorations on West Coast Racers. And as I mentioned earlier, the globes in the Metropolis area are always a highlight that everybody can walk in. I think that's a really cool idea. Obviously nothing going on in DC Universe this year due to construction, but Gleampunk was open. It looked great, as always. I really love the way this picture of Twisted Colossus came out with the moon there and everything. And then our last treat of the day was the Rudolph's shake, which had a churro and a cookie and all that stuff. Really good stuff. Really fun time at Holiday in the Park. And obviously Wonder Woman is coming along pretty well at this point. We'll obviously be having more updates in the next few weeks. We'll be back at Holiday Park at some point to take in some more of the lights and the treats and stuff. We've got those Six Flags gift cards, so we're gonna use them. I'm not a big merchandise person as far as coaster shirts and stuff, so we used our gift cards for the food on Saturday. It was great. I do wish they had the gift cards on the mobile ordering, but the lines weren't too long. There was only one spot, I think, down. I'm trying to think where it was just too long of a line and we didn't try anything. I'm trying to remember what it was now, but there was one spot we wanted to try something and we didn't want to wait. But obviously as the holidays get closer, it will get busier. So, plan ahead and have a great time at Holiday in the Park. So that'll wrap it up for this update. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.